Pranam, good morning. Welcome to live session. Another Sunday and 25th of January. Wonderful day. Let us begin with the today's topic. So today's topic is about bringing the future into the present moment, and that too without any anxiety, without any fear. So first let me make you sit very comfortably. Sit comfortably and take a very slow, conscious breath. Feel your body and come into the present moment. Now, listen very deeply. Your life is not shaped with circumstances. Your life is shaped with the awareness that you're carrying. Yes, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna did not motivate Arjun, he awakened him. Now, what does this mean actually? When you think about something in the future, psychologically you are somewhere else, physically only you are sitting here, right? So, what happens is your mind goes on a topsy turvy mode of what will happen in the future, which is full of anxiety and fear. But with the right knowledge, everything becomes very joyful. So now let me ask you one thing, that have you ever thought about, is whatever has been taught to us is actually correct or not? You will start thinking that what am I talking today, but it is absolutely right. With my years of experience of studying the Bhagavad Gita, I understood that we have been told so many times to be fearful of certain things, and that fear was only created to prevent us from a big pitfall, right? A small pitfall or a big pitfall. It was just there to awaken us to the pitfalls. So, but we have been trained, our mind has been trained to become fearful for every damn thing. So, whenever we think about a future, we cannot think in a straight line that this is going to be perfect or it is going to be good. We are always fearful of the outcome. So, here when Sri Krishna says Karmanyavadikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana, he only meant, to be present here in the moment and leave the outcome. It was a very, very deep detachment he taught us. But why detachment? We always work for something good to come. We always work that something good is going to come up for us. But why is it not coming to us? Because we are looking for an outcome which is actually positive, yet it is creating a lot of anxiety within us. So we are not able to understand that what I want, I will get it easily. This is the catch. Whatever we want is available to us very easily. But we have been taught to struggle, to manipulate, to do everything where we can get it. Whereas it was actually very easily available to us. So this is where the right knowledge, starts happening. What happens with the right knowledge? First thing, you are not the result. Then you are not the reaction of the others. Then you are not that uncertain truth or uncertain future. So when you become conscious of being here in the present moment, your nervous system starts settling. How does it start settling? With understanding that whatever you are thinking in a future is happening right now with us. Suppose somebody has to, clear an exam, or you are going for an interview in your office or for a new job. What are you going to do? Will you prepare for the interview, or you will start looking for what the outcome is going? Of course the outcome matters, so we go into that, but the preparation mode is right now happening. So when you have to prepare for the interview, you look out for all the aspects which will help you get over, rather than just thinking that what questions I'm going to be asked, what is this going to happen, what is the, all that nervous system breaks you into the present moment. So when you understand, let me do the work and let the outcome come out naturally. That is where, when you start drawing that awareness, that is where the detachment is coming. Somebody in the last Sunday asked me, what is Bodhisattva? This is very, very beautiful relation to the Karma Yoga we are learning here. So we are talking about the karma. Do your karmas, but without any attachment, in a selfless manner, as if you, when you are going for a you are going to a company, you're joining a new position. What is that going to be? It, of course, it is going to bring you stability, it is going to bring you, good salary package, everything is there. But is your presence being added value to that, or is your presence just not bringing anything to it? What exactly it is bringing to the table is where we need to learn, which is called the sthit pragna sthiti. That means, let me overcome my own anxiety and let me just sit down and relax and think, everything is fine, everything is going to be good, I am going to be safe, and let me now work out on what I want. Let me now work on, bring come myself in alignment of what I desire. So, what happens genuinely is that you start moving towards that future in a very aligned way, rather than being very resentful, whether being in an anxiety, being in a frustration mode. You don't go into that zone. You go into the zone where your results are 100% the way you want it, but your over anxiety or your thought process actually brought you back. So, let us take an example of your workplace. When you join an organization, when you are looking for an organization, what are you looking for? You are, of course, looking for a good outcome, but are you prepared for that outcome, or are you ready to do anything, cheat, or tell lies about your career or something? When you start evaluating all these things, you are actually pulling your outcome to a very, very opposite way what you want. So Krishna says what you desire is already there, but what you want, you don't have to struggle for it, but the mind has been taught to struggle, to evaluate everything. It is good to evaluate, to learn, to grow, but not to attach from the outcome, because the outcome is left to the best possibility automatically when you start thinking about the future in the present moment. So rather than going your mind into the future and thinking about all what is going to go wrong, why not start thinking everything which is going to be right? And that is where your alignment comes up. In the moment when you have to become, when you have to become a CA, or you have to become a lawyer, or any other profession you choose, what do you choose? You choose preparation. And that is where, when you, but mentally you have embodied that state of being a lawyer. You start talking to people who are into that same profession, where you are getting that alignment of what it is. So same way, you're not detached, because you know when you have come here, you have to become that what you want. So that is called the state of embodiment. This is where he's saying, wherever your conscious awareness is, that is where is going to be the result. So what is your awareness lying on? Is it lying on the anxiety of what is happening? Or is it lying on the, please, no, I have to do this and I will take it and I will do this. It is a conscious inner shift that you make in the moment. So this is not a detachment from the life. It is freedom while living fully. So when we were talking about Bodhisattva, which was somebody was talking for the same thing, living the life in a selfless way where it actually gives you the best of the results. How it is giving you the best of the results? Because you're again, your awakening process or your working process become a module for so many other to follow. So the anxiety dissolves in the person who's actually looking forward. So what happens, your actions are not driven by fear. When you start working alignment in, you become confident, and you know you actually know that your focus has become very driven now. Now your energy is not anymore scattered. You are just into the center of doing exactly what you want to do, and your everything starts aligning. So bringing the future into the present moment is the same thing. Become more aware of yourself, become more awakened in your work, that what am I doing? Why am I so worried about the future? Because the future is actually going to be the way I want. But we don't progress in that. So the action becomes, rooted in your presence. Work becomes very intelligent, and that energy is anchored in the now. So when you act in the present moment, what happens? Your efficiency increases, your creativity flows, and your stress starts dissolving. So it is like an enlightening process. Enlightenment is nothing, something, something out of the box. It is the same thing, that you are doing exactly what you want to do. So, suppose somebody in your neighbor or somebody in your family needs some medical care, or you have to go to get your child some admission or something on a very practical term. What are you going to do? You are just going to sort out the schools or sort out the institutions you can bring the child to, or if you are yourself doing the same process, you're going to same do the same thing, in spite of thinking, what is the best outcome going to come, which is the best university, school, or whichever I can enroll. So you'll do every step to move towards that, rather than thinking that what if I don't get there, what if I don't give this. So before entering a state, if you are misaligned with the state, you will always be derailed. But when you are working in one direction, in a loving direction, that this is the place I would love to be, and so I'll do everything in my power to understand what I can do, and that is where the alignment comes up. You don't have to cheat people, you don't have to do anything. The universe starts working in your favor in every way, bringing you what you desire without doing anything negative. you know your stress starts dissolving. This is where the karma yoga is actually happening. So when you work, what happens when you work in your relationship with the same manner? So Krishna says balance is yoga. Relationships don't suffer, you know your relationships actually don't suffer when you love. When you love, but your love is not fixed with fear. You are not trying to change people. You don't want, you don't cling them, you have to stay with me. You have to be with me because I cannot survive with you. That is the point, yeah, that you have to secure my future. So in every way we are giving the other person to do, this is what want to sustain, but I am not able to do, so you do it for me. So what we do in the relationship is we change the dynamic. Rather than feeling secure, that no matter what, I'm secure in this relationship, that is where the love starts happening. So you are giving freely, you don't expect anything, you take the responsibility and accountability of yourself and your feeling and emotions. That is where the relationship starts working. We think there is a high maintenance work. The high maintenance is only with the self, that you have to understand that my relationship is not there to change people, because this is the first law of the Gita, that you cannot change people. So in the process of looking at, you should do this, you should do this, so that means I am right, you're wrong. So even if you are suggesting people that please do this, just give your suggestion, and that is okay. That's okay. Let people evolve on their own. We all take time, to understand things. Maybe some things my mentor had told me 2 years back. Over the period of contemplation, I came to understand now. So that does not mean that we are going to fight for it. It took a long time, but yes, the process is on. So same thing in the relationship is, the relationship first starts with the self. Start with the self. First, let me know myself. Why am I so clinging to somebody? Why am I so attached to somebody that I feel that if the person leaves, I'm going to be shattered, or I'm going to be very possessed with it, so I can't live without it. That is the point where your attachment is actually teaching you that you have become codependent. So leave that codependency, learn how to leave that codependency, and your future is always the best what you think about. It is not that you have to work, you don't have to please people, but you don't have to be very timid, very rigid about it. So there is a balance approach. That is why I said balance is yoga. You have to understand yourself before getting into anything. So when you are inwardly stable, what happens? You stop chasing reassurance, you stop reacting emotionally, and you start relating to everything very consciously. This is where your power lies. So the presence is not in healing, not because you do something, but because you are different. That is where the alignment comes. Now I'll give you some few practices, what you can do to bring that future where you feel safe, that yes, whatever I'm going to think, I'm going to get it. What are the steps that you can do? Take many conscious pause, as many, several times a day. Bring yourself back to the center and tell yourself, I'm here and I'm safe, and right now I have everything that I desire. Believe me, you do this exercise at least for a few 10 days, or I say 15 days, and every few hours just sit and say, I have everything with me and I am safe, and see your energy starts changing. That future anxiety, your body will start teaching you, this gut area, this starts developing, because it takes time for when you state change an information in your field or in your mind. When you start changing an information, it takes time. The body will start resisting, you will not feel comfortable, yet do it. Continue and tell yourself, let your body relax completely. Tell yourself, I'm here and this moment is enough and I have everything. Believe me, every moment is complete. It is the mind which has full of all the information, and we start thinking that anxiety, because that is how we are living in fear. We are just living in fear. So let your nervous system settle. How the people who we have become, the at a high position, you always find them very calm and composed and taking the good direction for their business, for their workplace, even at any institution, because they have entered that calm state of mind. They are out of that anxiety or fear कि something wrong is going to happen. Nothing wrong is going to happen. It is coming back to yourself, and you will start realizing. Then second thing, operate from wholeness. What happens is, when we start giving something, we always refrain. Like you do, why should I do? Why should I do all the work? When you start operating from wholeness, okay, I have it. I can share it with you. I have so much of love, I can share. Does a mother ask your child that this child is good, this child is bad? It is only for the for some attitude of the child, she teaches the other person to look at it. But otherwise, mother is always unconditional. She doesn't think that one child is good and one child is bad. She is loving both the children in the same energy. Same way, when we enter a workplace, when we enter a relationship, your energy should be from an wholeness. My presence should bring this organization to rise. My presence should help me evolve, should help my colleagues evolve, should help the company rise. You become a asset for the company, because with you, everybody around you feel that safety and that direction, and that is where your growth lies. So start operating from wholeness. Whenever you feel you are going to give somebody, ask yourself, am I operating through wholeness, or am I creating a lack? Choose clarity. First ask yourself, choose. When you choose it, you will start becoming what you desire. Third, in the emotional moment, this is called grounding. When in the emotional moment, ask yourself, am I choosing love? or am I choosing fear? What is this emotion telling me? Am I fearful about something, or am I in a very loving way? This is where the shift happens. Now, let me give you one more beautiful example from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna did not give Arjun hope. He gave him awakening. He gave him awareness. So when the awareness is right, you know, your joy becomes very very natural. You become joyful because now you know when I am doing something, the outcome will automatically good because I have put my heart and soul into it. And I am not fearing about it because I have given my best. So that is why Krishna says, give your best and leave the outcome, because the outcome will naturally unfold on its own in a most amazing way. So living in the present moment is take the pauses very easily, frequent pauses, and ask yourself, I'm safe. Tell yourself, I'm safe. I am safe to move ahead. I am safe to give. I am safe to love. So you start balancing your energy. It's all about you. It's not about changing the world, people around you. The people will automatically start changing because your energy has started coming into alignment. And believe me, the future will reorganize itself. I'll give you a very good example, my personal example. So when my daughter was doing 11th and 12th, I was very nervous that how will she manage. But believe me, the more I was nervous, the more I saw a dip in her. She was not able to perform good. And at a, when the career has to be decided in class 12th, it is very difficult for the people to understand that how you're going to, there is so much of competition, there is so much of this, that all that state of mind was totally shattered, that how is she going to, because she's not progressing, she's not taking properly, grasping the concept, she's not preparing well. So I was so worried about it. But when I realized that it's a state of awareness, in that future I have started living in fear, and in that moment I'm seeing my daughter also going down. So it takes time for you to understand that everything in there is a better future for her. And in my own experience, if I am fearful, what will I provide her? So the first thing I did was I started telling her she will do amazing. She will do amazing. Believe me, my daughter actually crossed the 12th with wonderful marks. She got the admission in Delhi University through merit basis. This was something which I had never expected. So I am teaching you something from very, very personal experiences, that when you lose that anxiety of the future and you think something best is going to come out, you start channelizing your own energy. And that is where the entire scripture comes. Give, but give freely. Love and love freely, and don't expect, because what you are giving out has to come multiplied. So I never thought she's going to get admission in the Delhi University on the merit basis. I never thought, but it happened. So everything, it for me it was like a miracle. But later on, when I started realizing that I was the person who was creating a crux around her, and I was the person, when I started releasing my energy, her energy also got settled into that, and she started rising. She studied well. She did everything what was required. So your energy is always these are the little life lessons which through Gita we understand. We don't want to study. So believe me, study Bhagavad Gita. It will bring you a lot of transformation, self knowledge, self understanding, self growth. This is the Swadharma. This is your Swadharma. That is where you know your life starts. You start growing as a person. You start growing as a person. Then you help people around you help to grow. That is where Krishna has already started doing his work. So, if you relate to this, and if you think that this has brought some information to you, some good, do share the video with people. But one final thing, I'll tell you, trust life. Life is not going to give you something bad. It is only the imagined states of mind which has brought us to this wrong notions of bringing everything. Make this sankalpa with yourself that everything is going to be unfolded to me very wonderfully. Everything is going to be perfect with me. So, when you are ready with this promise and this commitment in the moment, you see how your life starts changing. So, live, let us understand Gita through the way it is already described with in by Sri Krishna. That is living in every minute. You are awakened. You are aware of yourself. And if this has actually resonated with you, come and explore Bhagavad Gita with me. Believe me, you will find so many marvels within yourself that you will not believe that what Gita is teaching you is something way beyond a human perception easily can get. It's a scripture deep within you. You already have that knowledge. I only have to let it allow you to unfold it. That's all. So come and study Gita with me. It's an 8 months course, and you will completely transform to a new version of you. So thank you so much for joining today. I saw a few people. Somebody said hello, and somebody said hello Saturday, whereas we are here on Sunday. So please, before commenting, it is always better to be in the present moment and realize what the session is about and what it is. So it makes the conversation much more easy. It makes the conversation much more giving. It makes the conversation much more lively. So thank you so much for joining. Have a lovely Sunday. Don't forget to take the pause, bring your awareness to the present moment, bring your alignment to the mind and your body that everything is safe. I am safe and everything is going to be end out perfectly. Thank you so much.